Hi, welcome back. Thank you for joining my channel today. Today, I want to talk about the brain and weight loss surgery. Now, I'm 7 years out of weight loss surgery. I've had a lap band placed. The lap band was unfilled in 2016. And my lap band only worked metabolically for about 3 months. Um, and then I had to really start working on how was I going to get the weight off. I had approximately 80 pounds to lose, and I lost about 65 of it. And I've been working on the rest ever since, right? I have about, between the year, I have about a 10-pound weight gain, and I fluctuate. I go down 6 pounds, back and forth, back and forth. Highest is winter, lowest in the summer, because I change my diet, my fitness changes, my gut bacteria changes, everything changes, right? So to give you an idea, well, I wasn't really that fat, but I was fat enough or obese or over the BMI to qualify me for weight loss surgery. The one thing that I used to beat myself up over, and I won't beat myself up anymore, is I chose the wrong surgery at the time, in 2012. I really didn't educate myself on the functionality of the actual weight loss surgeries and what happens long term down the line for long term success to fight this obesity issue. Because in my opinion, with me, because I can only speak for myself, this is a lifelong battle, okay? This is not something that could be fixed with my weight loss surgery because I have an unworking tool now, right? So I really have to fight. And what do I have to fight? I have to fight my brain and I have to fight my gut, right? Because those two things work in synergy, right? They work in synergy because we now know the microbiome talks to the stomach, and the stomach talks to the brain, right? But not only that, is the stomach talks to the hypothalamus, right? The stomach talks to the hormones, or the gut bugs talk to the hormones, or the gut bugs talk to the brain and how they regulate metabolism, hunger, emotions, everything, right? So I've been researching a little bit of this, and I'm going to link a couple cards if you're interested. If you're a geek like me, I'm interested in the brain, I'm interested in behaviors, I'm interested in psychology. That's my major in college. So I'm into the social dynamics of why people get obese. Of course, they haven't. The big scientist hasn't figured that out yet, right? And they really haven't found a cure, because as Dr. Nazarian says in the 600-Pound Life, he quotes, only 5% of these 600-pound people will make it after 5 years, only 5%. And then actually I heard another thing, he says 1%. And I was like, what? 1%? Well, I've gained back 10 pounds. 10 pounds, it could go up to 12 pounds. 12 pounds, when it goes up to 12 pounds, I have to do a body hack. And guess what? I have to do a damn body hack every single day, right? Because my body has regulated itself to what I'm doing. And then I have to try another body hack and then another body hack. And if you look at my channel, I have really done a lot of different things since 2012. It's a real challenge. So this was me. Now I'm a little shorty, right? I'm built lower body big and upper body smaller, right? That was at my highest. That was the summer of 2011. Everybody said, oh, you look great. Great? Do you think, how do you think I felt about myself in this body, right? I didn't look like that in 2003 when I met my first husband, second husband, I should say, when we met online. Do you think that if I showed him this picture, do you think he would have met me at that restaurant? I don't think so. He would have took one look at this picture and ran the other way. But fast forward, 7 years later, yeah, uh, soon after our marriage, when we started nesting, I started gaining weight. My body loves to gain weight, 10 pounds. It can gain 10 pounds in a blink of an eye, hmm every year. And then before I know it, I'm back to this person again. No, I won't go back. And guess what? I'm fighting, and I'm fighting every damn day with every trick, with every tool, with every whatever I can do. I'm going to do it because I won't go back to this person. Because guess what? Revision is out of the question for me. Mm-mm. I had no insurance. I had no job, and I'm broke, right? So why? Because I want to live my Zen life. But right now, I might go back to work. So yeah, I had some big old knockers, right? Knockers. I had those knockers right there were probably about as big as the knockers I had when I was pregnant. hmm I delivered my baby in 1985, and I was 160 pounds. The same, isn't that amazing? The same weight I am now. This is 215 pounds. And I'm a little shorty because I shrink by the year, right? I'm a postmenopausal woman. hmm But then, just about maybe, I don't know, 15 months out, when I was vegan, between 13 and 15 was my lowest weight. That's I could wear a bikini at 53. I was pretty proud of myself. No plastic surgery, no liposuction, just calorie restriction and exercise. But I didn't have a working tool because the lap band don't work metabolically. It only works in restriction. It restricts your food. It only sets on top of the stoma. But yeah, so that's my story. But I'd like to discuss to you today is the brain, right? Now, I always like to use the example of the 600-pound life. They're great case studies, right? Because we may not be like them, or maybe you are like them. I wasn't 600 pounds, but I considered myself obese and very unhealthy and on my way to a bigger job in the hut than what I was. So I know how I got there. I know how I got there because why? Because I went on a soul searching journey. Because I had 9 months to get ready for my surgery. And as a psychology major, I knew I had to figure this out. And luckily I did, because probably I wouldn't have been so successful. I had to figure out why I became fat and how was I not going to go back there. So I had to look at myself in the mirror and I had to ask the question, why? I did a lot of journaling. Just did. Did a lot of talking it out to myself. This is this year's. I woke up one day and I decided I didn't want to feel like that anymore or ever again. So I changed. Right. I didn't want to feel ever like that again. Mm-mm. Nope. Didn't want to. And I put this picture right in the front. Right in the front there. It's right in the front so I can see her. Yes. So, how can we not go back there? Well, we got to do due diligence, right? Because that tool that you have, your brain is going to learn to work around it. So you got to pull like a magician. Every trick you have, you got to pull it out of the hat, right? Now this girl right here, 600-pound life, her name's Tiffany. And I'm going to link the card. So, you have to realize that these people, this girl is 28 years old. Okay, I'll give you the backstory. She's using food to escape from life. She's been eating to feel good since she was 5 years old. She has a sugar addiction. You know what the first thing she does when she wakes up? She eats sugar. She eats candy. She eats ice cream. And also she has a genetic component in there from obesity because her father was over 400 pounds. And guess what? The father and the mother was a feeder. Right. So she was taught to clean your plate, and the father kept feeding her and feeding her and feeding her. So by the time she was 5 years old, she was 100 pounds. That's child abuse to me. That is just plain child abuse. Where was her pediatrician? Where was her pediatrician? Why didn't they call Child Protective Services? This is child abuse. This is child abuse because your responsibility as a parent is to keep your child safe. And if you're unhealthy yourself, how are you going to be a good parent to your child? You're supposed to mirror a good image to your children. Or guess what? Because if you're dysfunctional in here, you're going to raise dysfunctional children. But I'm not judging. I'm just saying. This is my opinion. This is my case study. So by the time she was 12 years old, she was 300 pounds. Now you got to think about that. She was 12 years old at the height of puberty, female. So what does that tell you? When you're obese at the height of puberty, the fat cells that you make will be with you for the rest of your life. And getting rid of them, baby, that is hard, right? Once you establish those fat cells, man, all kinds of toxins put in there, estrogens go up, the brain gets excited, it gets used to all those pleasure response like the serotonin. We know the rats are obese. You saw that video where they fed them Oreo cookies and the pleasure, like the cocaine brain lights up and everything. We know that, right? It's in the science, right? So this is another reason why we have to stay away from as bariatric patients for the rest of our life. We have to check ourselves to see what kind of foods we're eating, because the type of foods that we're eating are going to be highlighting that pleasure point in our brain. And guess what? After the honeymoon period's over, guess what? Who's to say how much that tool works, depending upon your malabsorption or your dumping? Because some people don't get dumping, right? My friend had RNY. She's 7 years out. Her RNY, Roux-en-Y, gastric bypass. She doesn't dump anymore. Malabsorption hardly works. She's a sugar addict. I remember her throwing up on the side of the road, getting the foamies because why? Because she was eating something she wasn't supposed to. Hmm. I wish that would have happened to me. I wish I would have had that tool, but I didn't. So this girl, Tiffany, has a dysfunctional family, sure thing, and she has a body image. Weighing 300 pounds, she started hating herself. And then she used the food because she hated herself for comfort. Don't we hear about that term in the weight loss surgery? I use food for comfort. Hmm. Yes, I did. Why? Because I was unhappy with the choice that I made in my marriage. I was sad because I left my family behind in New Jersey. That's my truth. And I followed, as you do with nesting and new marriage, you're cooking. And I didn't, I wasn't involved in any sports, and I had a desk job, and I was in the car for 3 hours, and I would hide food in the car too. That's a rule now. I don't eat in that car. I don't eat in front of this computer. Nope. Mm-mm. So, actually, this Tiffany here, her father started verbally abusing her, and it's the whole dynamics of the family is in total discord. So, let's hear a little bit of it. And
covered. So that was a really painful time losing that relationship. So I just went to food with all of them. 200 pounds in 2 years, and was over 500 when I started high school at 14. My health just continued to get much worse from there because my life. So that was when it started to get harder to get around and stay active. So I started doing a lot less. And it got so bad that I had to drop out of school. And that was humiliating, and I started to get even more depressed. Eventually, I found an alternative high school that could accommodate my needs. And I was able to get my high school degree and graduate. And at that point, I was around 560. I couldn't believe that my weight was getting so bad. I was 18, but I was still trying to do what I could to have a life. And I decided to go to culinary school. And I actually did well and loved it. Cooking was a dream job for me. But my weight got in the way of that too. I was a cook for a banquet at a casino, so I couldn't get on fast enough to eat the food out like I needed. So I lost my job, and at the same time, my parents separated. So it just seemed like my whole world out because I was so depressed. And I, of course, kept eating. I felt like the only thing I had was food. But when I was 24, I was playing a game online. We started talking, and then we just kind of hit it off. And
so the dynamics in the family and her depression got worse. But what are they eating?
Afraid I know there's no way I could go on like this much longer, and that I'm running out of time.
Pizza!
Okay,
it's always pizza and it's always pop or Coke.
Today is a really big day for me. Me and Aaron are flying to Houston to see a doctor now, to try and get the help I need to lose weight.
All right, so Tiffany, you're here to get help with your weight because you're at 672 pounds.
Yeah.
That put your BMI at almost 112. Normal BMI is 18 to 25, so this is very high BMI. And I'm surprised you're still able to get around. So how much you can walk?
As of right now, I could walk maybe
Oh,
for like
wow.
5 minutes.
And you get short of breath or tired?
Short breath.
And any joint pain?
Yes. I have arthritis in one of my hips,
Mm.
and my knees have been really bad lately.
They should be. You put almost 700 pounds on them.
They should be,
are
right?
designed for that. But with all these issues, you're very close to becoming this. You didn't live too long like that. Okay? So tell me about your eating habit.
I am definitely an emotional eater. I will get really
Emotional
sad
eater.
and I eat quite a bit. And I have a bad habit of waiting all day and then binge eating at the end of the day.
That's not true. You wouldn't be this big if you weren't eating all day. It's because you don't get all the snacking out to everyone else. Okay? What do you snack on?
I usually have crackers or yogurts and some grapes throughout the day just because it's easy. I can grab it and snack on it.
You keep grapes in your room? Sounds healthy. What you tell me, you should be like 200 pounds. So where's the extra calorie coming in? You sure it's not candy bars, chips, or stuff like that?
Sometimes I guess.
No guessing. You know it's most of the time. But you used to lie about it. So when you eat a meal, you eat at home or you eat out?
For the most part, he will go get something from a drive-thru because he doesn't cook. He'll go get sandwiches or burgers or
He's
something
the feeder.
and bring it home.
From the father
So
now
he's
to the
not helping
boyfriend.
you to change your eating habit. He just
Look
give
at
you
him.
whatever you want.
He's not
Even
really
if
skinny.
it's killing you, just avoid an argument with you. Does that sound right?
You with me over it.
So the dynamic within you two is something that
In a lot of these relationships, you'll see the partner or the significant other or whatever I found, they either have some kind of fetish going on or they're feeding their significant other because they don't want them to leave them, or for some other psychosocial reason the significant other has underlying.
is going to have to change for this to work. And a lot of other things are going to need to change now too.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a 1,200 calorie a day, high protein, low carb diet that I want you to start on today.
Okay.
And part of what I'm going to give you is a list of food to avoid. So you might think you can do that.
Yes, I would do that already, but we have a limited income and it tends to be expensive to eat healthy and get healthy food. It's
Well, it
just
can't be
easier.
more expensive than buying burgers and fries and
Yeah, definitely not.
Why do everybody say that eating healthy is expensive? A thing of broccoli is maybe $1.19 for a bunch, and that's how much a thing of potato chips is. But the potato chips is probably only going to last her one sitting. She could probably eat the whole bag herself, and it's not very satisfied. She's going to be hungry after. But if you eat a whole plate of broccoli with a piece of meat, you're not going to be hungry after.
So I'm ready. I can do it.
I really hope you are, because you don't have a lot of time to play games with this. So no more excuses and lies about what you're eating. And you also need to start increasing your activity to build up your stamina. I want you to start walking at least an hour total every day. And I'll give you some other exercises you can do sitting down.
So the thing about it is that at her weight, I'm not really sure how much exercise she can do, to be really fair. So he did say some chair exercise is really good. And I really think that these people, I don't know what the background, what they do, or, she really needs to get in the pool. If she got in the pool, she would be weightless and she could do more exercise for at least an hour a day. I would hope that these people that have this show give these people a certificate to the Y or whatever so they can get in the pool, and then transportation back and forth, because obviously she has problems with mobility. But these are the kind of things that we really need to look at. And I think this is not to shame Tiffany, this is not to point a finger, but I think that when we look at these examples of these people with these morbid obesity, they're not eating broccoli and they're not eating, you know, a piece of 2 ounces of steak, right? And a salad. They're eating, if you go back in this video, she's eating ice cream when she wakes up, and she's eating pizza, and she's drinking soda, and the boyfriend is a feeder. So she's never going to be successful if he's not on her team, and he learns how to eat properly too, because clearly himself, he looks a little bit out of shape and obese. So I think that when any of us are on the weight loss, we're on to lose our weight, our whole families need to be supportive and on our side and supporting us, and not sabotaging us either consciously or unconsciously on some particular foods that we need to avoid. Because, head hunger is real. Head hunger is real. And the thing about it is that with our surgeries, we have the procedural honeymoon period where the operations itself calms down the gremlin, or the gremlin is taken out, or the half of the stomach is removed. But believe it or not, after a year and a half, the body adapts and you're going to be faced with those demons again. I'm telling you. So establishing these good behaviors, the foundation of the weight loss surgery rules, some kind of movement every day. It doesn't have to be exercise. It doesn't have to be running. It could be doing some videos on the TV of movement, of exercising in the chair, of walking, going up and down the steps, something at least an hour of a day. If we don't have a job that, keeps us active for 8 hours, because as human beings, we weren't made to sit in the chair all day. And as I can attest to, as our bodies age, and depending upon genetics, depending upon age, metabolism, and hormones, because I'm post-hormone, my metabolism has slowed down like molasses. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you find this interesting. Thank you very much for viewing. Give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, subscribe, and I'll link the appropriate video.